Hello and welcome back once again, my friends. This is Hambbage, and you have found yourselves into the classiest of all hardcore vanilla Minecraft streams. That is the Hambbage Hardcore Vanilla Minecraft stream. And I'm glad to have you here. Hope you are doing fantastically. I know I am, and we're about to get back into it. So, exciting episode here. It is Friday, the 11th of June. We are obviously playing 117, and the exciting bit here is that we are doing so and airing this video on the exact same day. It's been over a week now where we've had pre-recorded content loading up each day. On today, we have a whole bunch of videos dropping. For the next few hours, we are airing stuff hourly, in fact. So, lots of good content to be had, and I was just ready to get back after it. I know it's for some viewers, it's frustrating. You know, it's like, man, what are you doing? It was especially ill-timed that 117. Went live while I was in the midst of a bunch of pre-recorded videos coming. So, hopefully we won't have much more of that. Ooh, got some more deep slate here. No. That's interesting. What's the log all about? I'll have to go take a look. So we talked about this a little bit yesterday, and I will let all y'all know. I'm not somebody who likes to try to be cryptic or cagey about what's going on in my games or the worlds or anything else, what have you. I just like playing, and I prefer to know without too many games or shenanigans. What other streamers are doing in their worlds. I don't know. I don't find a lot of point in the surprise or oh yeah, you guys never guessed that, or acting surprised about something. Not exactly my style. So what I had been doing was avoiding very carefully all the 117 content I could. I wanted genuine surprises, and dang it, and as much potential to discover stuff on my own as I could possibly get. It's just a part of the fun for me is being able to go into a Minecraft world and explore all the content that's out there, have a lot of fun while doing so. So that has and always is my goal. However, I also enjoy enjoy a lot of Minecraft content. So I have kind of modified that a bit at this point. I've watched a few streams and did a bit of looking myself just on the topic of the snow. As many of you guys may have seen in the previous videos, I was out hunting for powder snow. We flew all over the place, checking mountains, checking tundras, all kinds of stuff, and couldn't find any of the powder snow. And I wondered, is this something that's coming out? I was surprised they talked about it in the patch notes, so it certainly seemed as though it was something that was included to an extent. Well, I did solve that mystery, or at least looked up the answer to that mystery. And that is, currently there is not naturally occurring sitting powder snow in the world. You can obtain it, and we'll definitely do that. There's an advancement involved with it, but at least for the moment, you won't just find it walking along in the world, kind of stuff. Um, do we have any of those? Do we have any other shulkers? Purple. What's purple got? This is kind of a mess. Is it just time to get a new shulker altogether? Did I already do that? Probably put it off at the end of the last episode. Like, you know what? I don't have time for this. Let's get going. Sounds like me. All right. So this was still our uniques, right? Now, do we have other unique stuff? I don't think so. We can stack that. Let's stack up what we can out of these. Deep slates. Let's pull these. And what do we don't have anything that's like a full stack. I guess we got some wood. I did have cobble. I can put that away. Just put some of these junk things in. The rest of these are all going to still pile up, which is good. Okay, well, I guess we didn't need that quite yet, but we will. This is a bit of the deal. You end up with so many boxes. Now, this is where... Like, what's going on with the log? I love it. So does that mean that, like, Abandoned Mines got some new, like, support-looking stuff? That's pretty cool. Down with that. Got a big hole up this way. Yeah, I don't see anything too great up there, though. Alright, weren't there other hallways that we were looking at around here? That's more of that glow lichen, I think it was. So, as I said, I did go look at, like, the snow and stuff. And the other stuff I haven't really tried to go get answers for. For instance, and please don't spoil it in the comments if you haven't, I have not yet searched on spyglass. I know they're out there. It may be a matter of visiting a new villager to get that. I don't know. I assume you can craft them with something, but what that something is, I don't know yet. So, and I'm okay. Just like I've said all along with the actual gameplay. I said we're not gonna rush through the advancements of even 1.16.5 because it's fun to get through them all, but it's also kind of one of those things. There's no prize for first place, right? Like, it's not a race. There's no trophy out there for, oh, hey, you got all the advancements in 100 days of gameplay or anything like that. So I really don't care. And frankly, I think the content and the my fun in the world gets extended when I still have some advancements out there. Now I'm excited and anxious to try to get some of these done as quickly as possible because they're new and I haven't done them yet. But at the same time, just having them all done in a day, it's like, oh, okay, well, now what do we do? We're done. Let's wait until Christmas for the next half of this update. So that's the kind of stuff I want to avoid. I want to enjoy all this, and that's why I have been okay, kind of avoiding the content, slow playing the spoilers, and doing some of those kind of things. So I will, like with the snow, we went out and searched for it, and eventually we, um, kind of came to the realization there's nothing out here for us. Um, with the snow. We're not, we've been looking, we have not seen it. So reasonable to then accept that we're doing something wrong or it's just not there. And ultimately, the answer seemed to be that we we were just looking wrong, and it turned out it's not out there in the world yet. So what's the answer to that? Well, I'll definitely want to do this, but it seems as though um, you can gather. You have to use falling snow, and then there are means to gather that up, which we'll get into. Um, the other answer that I got is patience. For those who have watched the previous videos, there's a certain little attempt or experiment going on back at our nether portal, um, and we were looking for signs of progress. It would seem that we're on the right track with that. I don't know what the rate is and if there's a means to accelerate that, but yeah, everything everything seemed to be on course there, at least from what I can tell. And I didn't look in depth. I mean, what are the mechanics of this? How do we do it? We're not to that point yet. I'm not trying to automate stuff. The actual gathering of the material I'm talking about, it's just for understanding's sake. We can always go to certain biomes that are literally full of that substance and get it by the bucket load, if you know what I mean. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. So I'm sure there are implementations. It sounds like, and again, I've I've kind of released or relaxed my self-imposed ban on um, other content out there that's playing 117. So I'm starting to see how other people are playing around in some of this kind of stuff. I am, I'm sure he's not watching, but for other folks who may be one of my relatively newfound, but very favorite YouTube content creators is JDMC. He does a bunch of YouTube tutorials in a very cool and fun, watchable style for hardcore, and I can't recommend enough. If you're new to hardcore, as I sort of try to do, I don't want to be tutorial because I'm not claiming that I have any real particular insight. I've just been doing a lot, probably been making a lot of mistakes a long time along the way. But that is still something I want to keep improving at and sharing what I do have. Sorry, I'm looking at the inventory here. Yeah, it's I personally, a lot of my outlook for everything is to share knowledge. help other people when you're out doing any kind of activity. If they're new to something, um, I am very. Oh wait. I'm losing it. It's been a day at least, so I'm a little bit knocking off the cobwebs for Minecraft. I seriously was looking in that ender chest, going, I think I just lost my magenta shulker box. I had another one, and it was sitting in front of me. It's great. Um, if I can get that last one filled up a little bit, then we can switch out to the plain shulker box. Wow, that was anticlimactic. I see you. Um, am I stuck in a cobweb, or is that just? I mean, that's just the game slow. I hear like my system failing a little bit, which is kind of a bummer. I guess I didn't do like a cleansing reboot yet. Um, but I was like, running browser, closed it, and hadn't been doing much else system heavy to start the day, so I don't know. But it's very chonky right through here. I don't know what that's all about. Oh, anyway. All right, let's. Anything more we can jam into here? I guess we could. Swap out some of these things that we may actually have more of. Yeah, I mean, I get it, right? We may have more fence, for instance. In fact, I would say it's very likely that we will have more fence. But, um, oh, here we go. Swap the stones. All right, now this chest is pretty well done. So let's pop it, and it can just go straight to the carry it all the way home. We don't have to look into it again section. And we have this one just getting started out. So I think what we'll do now is start all of these various random things. I was happy to see one of the Twitch streamers I really enjoy was also saying, one of the first things that any mod pack person would do is get rid of these duplications. Why would you create two? And I get it. It's very cool to have them for the idea of decorative blocks, but then I have to wonder how many people are using ores as decorative blocks on a regular basis. Yeah, you might occasionally as like an accent, but unless you're making a mine to live in or something, it's just not that useful, I'd much rather personally have some means of decorating or using copper extensively for building. I did not look into copper yet. A lot of the past episodes we've been talking about, can copper be used as a building material? I haven't found a way yet like make it into slabs or stairs or anything like that. I think you can make copper blocks, but that's about it. But again, that's very likely to be my ignorance, and I'm okay with that. I like having to work a little bit to figure those things out. And like I said, if it's just not going anywhere, and I've tried any guesses that I may have and they haven't panned out, then then I'll just go look. I don't want to suffer myself just to troll viewers and, hey, look at the silly gamer. He doesn't know how to make a spyglass or whatever. It's I'd rather enjoy the game than try to bait people into comments or something like that. No, just kind of my take on things. Not right or wrong. It's sorry, Bat. You got in the way there. Hey. So yeah, mystery of the copper is still unsolved. Mystery of the iron is not, though. There's a lot of it, and I don't know that we really need all this. But hey, we're in mine mode. So yeah, I would eventually like to get to the surface, but I'm not gonna rush out of this mine. We kind of ended the last episode going, oh yeah, we don't exactly know the way back. The lodestone can help us, the lodestone compass. Although I think I left them all at the. Now that I think about it, I think I put them in the chest rather than like in my ender chest. I think I put them all in the little workbox at the at the temporary base, and that doesn't do us any good for getting back to the temporary base. Kind of stupid. Just so you know, if you're thinking about doing that, not the place to store your compasses. But space was at a premium. I wanted to fill them up. It's okay though. We've got coordinates. We can find our way. We don't need to worry. Wow, that's odd. Was I just not picking up? I guess. You. Yep, that's full. Okay. That's good. So, what else? Oh, you know what else is fun? This will be exciting news to most nobody but me. My Hambbage finished last night. It was glorious. Kind of late though. So for those who may be new to the content or have missed the couple videos where I mentioned it, I mention it pretty often that I live in Colorado, and I'm a pretty big fan of the sport of hockey and the Colorado Avalanche in particular. And so I was naturally following the NHL playoff as the Colorado Avalanche had won the President's Cup, the best regular season record, and were, one of several pretty heavy favorites for winning the Stanley Cup final. We're back to the pipes again, I guess. This is a new day. Although I did run into like a sprinkler maintenance guy Well, I was out yesterday afternoon. I'm like, just out. It was one of my breaks, so I'm just taking a little walk around the perimeters. I'm coming back, and I think I'd taken out the trash, so I'm like walking up to the dumpster, and this guy comes up to me. He's like, "Hey, man, can you do me a favor? I just want to know which of these sprinkler heads pop up." And he's like turning on the exterior valve to push water through the sprinkler. And I'm like, yeah, no worries, man. Happy to help. That sounds like something I can manage. Well, he's like, all right. So I just need to know: is it the one by the evergreen bush, or is it the one by the sidewalk? I'm like, well, I don't know. I'll watch. And anytime you're looking at stuff like that, you don't know where to look exactly. And I'm I've done plenty of automated sprinkler work on homes. The homes that I've lived in. I haven't actually owned them, but the homes that I've lived in, where you may lose a head or something, you mow over it, or there's some dripstone, or have some other a freeze break in a line or something like that. You just got to go in and do some maintenance, replace them, clean them up. Well, I'm kind of like, all right, yeah, I get it. You want to find out which way the water is running through the line. If you're gonna do maintenance, it's kind of important to know which side of the circuit or system you want to approach from. So I was more than happy to help him watch, and he kind of gives me that description. Then he like walks around to the other side of the building. So I'm just like standing looking at a section of grass where there's like one evergreen bush and then like a fence and everything, or not a fence, kind of like a low retaining wall and some other bushes and that hedgy type stuff. And so they're all right, turn on the water, and I watch it. It's like instantly four sprinklers all come on at this, largely the same time, because I don't know where I'm looking. I'm just, like, okay, there's something by a bush. And when you're trying to determine which side, now, like on a home system, I think usually the pressure is a little different. So I'm used to, they kind of gurgle and bubble, and you have a little bit of time to adapt. Like, okay, that one, then that one, now it's coming to this last one. They kind of and then pop up and, that kind of stuff. Well, apparently on the more expansive apartment complex, there's more pressure in those lines, and they just boom. And I'm like, sorry, dude. I was like, I think of these four, it was these two that were first, but I was like, I didn't know where I was looking. You got to do it again. So he goes back and does it again, and I was like, all right, I think it's that one. But it's just so funny, it's like, I get it. You can't see from a distance, but what he really should have probably done was been like, hey, can you turn this valve for me? I'm gonna look, because he's the one that was gonna dig up heads and have to do it. I personally would have been much happier being sure which way I was digging or which way the water was flowing from, and making my own determination. But whatever, I tried to help him out the best I could. I hope it worked out, but I don't know if the water that I was hearing means that they're still working on stuff or what. It was odd, I'm watching, and these four sprinklers like popped up and looked great, and they didn't seem to be any kind of like broken heads or leaky or anything. So I don't know exactly what the deal was. All right, let's reset here. I can go. Oh, so I don't know how I got derailed from the story, but Yeah, so I made a batch of my namesake Hambbage last night or yesterday. It's as the name of this world would imply. It's a slow cooker dish, and it really harkens back to long centuries of people growing and producing produce and using meat as flavoring, more so than just the bulk uh, ingredient in meals, and kind of having one dish meals um, that will be satisfying and filling, but nutritious and healthy as well. So I I love crockpot cooking. I'm not a particularly gifted or skilled cook, but I enjoy it. And um, one way to ensure you're not burning things or wasting ingredients or having timing issues is to make stuff in crock pots where you only have one dish. With a slow cooker, there's no specific point of it's done, get it off the stove, or it's ruined. More time the better whenever you're cooking something low and slow, which is like barbecue or um, like a slow cooker, a crock pot. So I enjoy those, and Hambbage is one of my favorites because it is so simple, yet good, and I don't know, just um, a means of tasting flavor that you've imparted, balanced with the natural flavors of the veggies and stuff that you put into it. So um, yesterday's batch, and they're all a little different. That's another fun part is when you're working with stews, or in this case, basically vegetables being complemented by meat flavorings and slow cooking meat to be extra tender and nice. There's no right or wrong, and your recipes are going to be uh, ideas, more than exacts. You don't need to be super precise when a bunch of the flavor that you're imparting is coming from, in this case, the meat, the ham it can be, or the um, in my case this time I used a pork shank leg um, in my preparation, and it was great. I started it, I don't know, before I did any kind of recordings or anything, you know, work or walk or anything else yesterday. I just got up, started the cook, and let it run. So like at the beginning of the day, it was the shank itself. So like and if you think like the idea of using ham bones for soup, this is kind of the same impact. You've got a big pig leg bone with all the meat left on it, and the idea is that you're going to slow cook that meat until it's very tender, and in this case it literally was falling off the bone, which is actually, if you're like doing competition barbecue or anything like that. It's actually overcooked at that point. Barbecue world will tell you that you don't want to. You want to have to slightly pull meat off of a bone. Otherwise, it is over tender and therefore overcooked. Now that's competition, right? And all those people have their own rules, and what they're looking for is dictated. I personally don't mind extra tender meat, especially now barbecue is a little bit different animal than slow cooker. When you're barbecuing, the meat is everything, right? It is the sole star. You could argue that a sauce or rub, the seasonings come into play, and they certainly do. But as far as ingredients go, you've got yourself a piece of meat, and that's what you're working to feed people. And barbecue, right? You have sides. Well, with a slow cooker, whether it's a stew or any other type of dish like that, you're having multiple ingredients which are commingling the flavors and cooking low and slow like barbecue to allow all those flavors lots of time to intermix and saturate one another. And that's the part that I really love. So, yeah, when you start out, little. I do little water, like 2-to-1 water and chicken broth, like a low sodium chicken broth, and then the pork shank itself, and I put in all the carrots at that point, and it's going to take a while for the cooker to even heat up, so you got some time. So as that's getting going, I also did just one fairly good sized medium onion, just a yellow onion. Well, not sweet. You want it when you're going for that combination of flavors and everything. You want the sharper onion, so that flavor doesn't get lost. And so chop that up fairly thick, big pieces instead of like a finely diced onion. I don't even know. Probably like I guess like eighths on diagonals from root to stem, and that those then I think like quarter chopped into pieces, and of course they're all going to fall apart into the sections of the onion. So you've got a lot of pieces when you get all done, which is great. So yeah, once those kind of got chopped up and the the broth and the water had some heat starting to build. It doesn't have to be super hot at that point, but it's starting to go. At that point, I put in the onions, and those you want to cook down to translucent, right? They want to get clear. As they're cooking. I can't believe he lit me on fire. That was rude. Kind of really can't believe he cut that corner. That was amazing. Good for him. Hi. This just keeps going and going. I was going to try to... This was the uniquers. We had a couple boot type things over here, I think, at least one. Chainmail boots. Very nice. Without having skeletons or zombies, we don't have as many opportunities to grab those kind of things. So those are kind of nice to pull down every once in a while. All right, what can we stack up here? Get a little more space. Looks good. Now I wanted to clear that lava to get back over to the dripstone stuff and harvest a bunch of that. It seems as though you can use that for a bit of generation and farming stuff. So they seem to be relatively high up in a bit of a ravine here. Okay. Well, hey, I got the zombie, and to celebrate, I'm going to come on back up here. Sorry about the noise there. I was hoping I could get him. Should make him teleport. Now maybe he'll come back. There we go. Cool big cave system that doesn't exactly feel like a ravine. Oh, you. Or at least it's, looks like maybe even though they haven't done the official cave stuff, maybe some of this generation stuff got just a little bit of tweaking. Lots more copper. It'd be cool if in all of this stuff we found some more of those amethysts, because we did find, for anybody that wasn't watching, we did find an amethyst geode, and it was very cool. I mean, way bigger than I expected. And we noted the coordinates of it, but I really didn't want to touch the first one. We'll kind of leave that one. Then if we find more, we can get some of the cool amethyst blocks. But for a moment, at least, we're well, sure. All right. I think there was. Oh, there's this. Nope. Time to do that again. Oh, I don't want an iron sword. Those are all kind of like one-off thingies, I think. I don't think we're just going to end up farming Enderman while we're sitting here. Would like to keep grabbing the coal, though. That was kind of a so yeah, my Hambbage. It cooked for, man, I don't even know. It was like, I want to say like 8:30, 9 a.m. by the time the onions and stuff went in, and then it cooked until probably 5 p.m. or so, so a number of hours, um, where it was in the slow cooker, but I didn't have it covered. And that really kind of even slows it down more because so much heat escapes in the steam. Not that it's a pressure cooker, it wasn't like a locked in top or anything like that that was pressurizing with all the cooking it did. But even so, with a lid, um, you just got uh, more ongoing cooking. But I'd left it open, and that did, even though it wasn't boiling or like a full simmer, it did take down the volume of liquid. So I think um, twice within, I added one more broth carton. Those little cartons of chicken broth or veggie broth or stock or whatever. You can get them all in the grocery store. Um, so add another one of those and a couple more shots of not like shot glass shots, probably like let's call it like 24-ounce big cup of water, hot tap water, and I have fairly hot tap. As hot as you can comfortably get it to add it in, so you're not cooling off the cooking mixture. But yeah, added all that just to keep it going, and that does add a little bit more flavor from the broth over time because it's concentrating as it cooks down. So that was about it. Then, at about 5 p.m. or so, I threw in the cabbage, which again was loosely cut for one not huge head of cabbage, kind of a medium-sized head, I guess. It wasn't like a Brussels sprout, but it was, not the biggest one I could find. Just a nice-looking head of cabbage. Because when you cut it, it's going to expand in volume. And I do have a pretty good-sized crock pot. It's not just like the circular one. It's kind of like an oval. I guess I don't know how many ounces it is. It's pretty good size though. Probably about double the like traditional circular one or cylindrical one. So yeah, bag of carrots, one medium onion, and one medium-ish head of cabbage chopped. You add that in towards the end. What I did, like it was probably closer to 6 by the time I actually added the cabbage in. Then I covered it up and left it for another 4 hours. And when I came back, and I've been checking the temp on the pork too. Pork, you want 165, I believe. And it was slowly cooking to that kind of level as we went, or as I went through the day. And when I was done with it, or when I came back at like 10 p.m. and checked again after it had been covered, the pork was literally, and when I tried to put the temp probe into it, that was a point when it was just everything came right off the bone. It's kind of tongs with one end and the wooden spoon I've been using with the other. Any lingering stuff just took a tap and it was gone. So I had the 2 clean bones coming out of the shank, and that was about all she wrote. Took another hour or so for it to cool off, where I do just, while you're doing stuff, every once in a while, as you think about it, come by and give the contents a stir so that the bottom stuff that's the hottest gets rotated up and releases that steam, and it'll keep the general temp coming down to the point where you can then put it into containers and I I do one biggish container and then a number of smaller, like single serving portions. So I've got depending on how much I want to eat of it at any one time, a couple good meals of what's mainly veggies with what's really probably a actual serving of pork cooked into it, and it's kind of liquidy. It's not like a super thin soup, but it's also uh, it's something you'd eat out of a bowl more with a spoon than you would just knife and fork type stuff. And yeah, all those flavors are mixed together. You get all the goodness of the veggies because you haven't strained or drained it. So they always say don't boil your vegetables, and that's sort of true. But the real problem is when you drain things that you've cooked in water, because as you're cooking, you are releasing nutrients from them, the various vitamins and antioxidants or whatever you may have in individual stuff. So you don't want to lose all that, but if you keep it in some kind of a soup or liquid-based form, you're going to retain some of that kind of stuff. So that's why I do keep it with the liquid, and it's kind of in between. And you could, with the slow cooker and the choice of having the lid on tight or not, you can kind of control cooking it off. I wouldn't have had to have added additional water halfway through the process, and I certainly could have left it open. Just be aware that as you do that and the steam is evaporating and you're cooking down, you may also extend your cooking time just a bit because that residual heat is then escaping. And also beware, cabbage has a one of my favorite lines from the movie Christmas Vacation. Clark and cousin Eddie are hanging out in the living room. It's the Clark famously says, "Hey, can I refill your drink? Get you something to eat, take you out in the forest, and leave you for dead." Just kind of the Chevy Chase style, unheard little shots. But as they're doing that, he's asking about the family. He's like, "Oh, how the kids?" And the other, "Oh, well, the one is preparing for his career. He's college? No, carnival. He's gonna be a barker for the yak. Well, nice lady loves to cook." And then he somewhere along the way says, "With carnies, they're wonderful people. Hands smell like cabbage. Or small hands smell like cabbage, something like that." And there's some truth to the smells like cabbage. It's like broccoli. Very distinct scent as you cook it, which is fine. I love it, particularly when it's cooking. This morning when I woke up, though, it was like, ooh, time to open up the house. So this morning, I had windows and doors open, everything getting fresh air and movement through. Just trying to clean out that scent of having done any kind of soup, slow cooking type stuff, and throw in some onions and other produce, and yeah, you're gonna have some sense. And this wasn't even heavily spiced. Usually I will do lots of garlic and peppers and like curry, some of my favorite spices. Typically more with like lentil cooking and beans and things like that, where I'll do you know varieties of chili and that kind of stuff. Then I'll really go uh, heavy on the spice. But with the Hambbage, I don't. I think of that as more of a kind of like peasant fare. I don't know if that's fair, F-A-R-E. I don't know if that's fair, F-A-I-R, to describe it as such. And I, again, I love it. I don't garden. You guys know I have a apartment living and stuff like that, so my space is limited for one thing. But for another, I just, I find the time and all that is a little challenging for me. But the idea of fresh produce is so appealing. Now, would I? What I like to do here is keep gathering these guys, but we may need to fill that in. So yeah, I think of some of those kind of like veggie and meat stuff. The only seasoning I did was, of course, even though it's low sodium, the broth has kind of a bit of saltiness. The meat adds some more of that. And then I did just a few bay leaves in to the mix, just to kind of give it a little bit of a taste profile. So that was about the extent of the Hambbage cook. But yeah, I couldn't help myself. I had some last night when it was hot. When I was waiting for it to cool down, I had a little bowl, and it was really good. So I had to resist the urge to then have another bowl for breakfast. There's a reason I chose to name my channel after it. It's good eating, and it's filling, but you're filling on vegetable. The root vegetables of the carrots will fill you up a little bit. The onions and cabbage give you that fiber and nutrients because they're all, again, cooked into the moisture. So you're getting lots of key nutritional stuff without a lot of carbs, without a lot of fat. Of course, the pork has some of those that it's adding in, but with one shank across what's probably, I don't know, for me, maybe 8 servings, those are, those are about right balance. You're not just eating a ton of meat way beyond nutritional guidelines, but you're getting all that flavor because the cabbage picks it up. So every bite you have the succulent flavor of it. So I encourage you guys, if you get a chance, give it a try. And, it doesn't have to be called Hambbage, although I think you can find recipes out there for it. Enough people refer to stuff along those lines, or just, slow cooker, pork and cabbage, or pork and veggies. And you can't go wrong. That's what I just described. Make sure you have a full day, or you can do it overnight. It's just be aware that particularly the cabbage is fairly delicate, so you can't just if you put it in at the beginning, which you can. Again, you can't really mess it up. Just expect that when you then are done cooking, the cabbage will have basically cooked down to nothing. There won't be much structure left to the individual pieces of cabbage that you cut up. That will kind of have just gone down to like a pulp. And sometimes that's nice. That can become a thickening if you like, like a thicker soup or stews and things, allowing, I guess, allowing cabbage. I haven't really done that. I do it more sometimes with like a lentil. Allowing those to cook way beyond what they will kind of cook them down and just break them into their more starchy base. And then if you have some tougher beans or something mixed in, they'll go. But then you'll have a nice, thick, more wintry kind of soup or stew or chili that will fill you up and give you that kind of filling sense. Summer now, though. I didn't need all that. I wanted a light kind of vegetable-y thing that I could snack on or dinner on, really, and be able to enjoy it without feeling like I just filled up massively on something heavy I was going to have to carry around in the heat of the day. So anyway, yeah, that's my Hambbage story. So there you guys go. You've got now the secrets to cooking your own Hambbages. And let me know in the comments if that sounds familiar to something that you personally like to eat or have made. Or do you have considerations? I know pork has a limited appeal. There's a lot of cultures, just a lot of people who have dietary choices that decide not to eat pork, whether it's a religious or a cultural background or not. Again, I kind of went in that route because I was stymied on chicken, which is what I would typically be grilling a lot this time of year to have in salads and some of those kind of things. But, whew, that's a lot of skellies. Did you guys come from a spawner? Oh, hey. Hey, get him! Get him! Magic bow versus magic armor. Who wins? Magic, enchanted. Oh. Always go offense. That's your lesson for the day. So yeah, if you and again, I there's certain things that I've cut out of my diet just for health reasons. I really don't try to say absolutely no to anything specific. But I definitely try to avoid certain ingredients nowadays that I didn't always. Excessive carbs, lots of sugar. So some of those kind of things just don't work for me health-wise. And it doesn't mean I don't enjoy them. I just wanted to share a little bit some of the things that I do that help me adapt to not eating some of those, carby, sugary things. It used to be a bowl of rice with some veggies was my healthy cooking, healthy meal. Hey, you want to eat healthy? All right, well, what you're going to do is get a bag of frozen veggies and microwave them. And then you're going to cook up some rice and you're going to pour them over the top. And maybe, oh, come on. Maybe you won't melt the, man, where are these guys coming from? There's just not enough space there. All right, you go. Fire arrow done. Man, this cave mine is massive. Hi. You're not even one of the cave spiders. Look at all this. Because what I was saying to myself was, the abandoned mine shafts in this game are so small, they totally need to expand them. What we haven't seen expanded are the number of little chests in the abandoned mine shaft. We are getting low on torches. Oh, that's it, huh? Did we see anything that we didn't grab but really wanted to? Hey, there's another one of those little support logs. Those are kind of cool. I think that's those are the kinds of little nothing development ads that just are so easy, and it's like, yeah, all right, the developers still play or enjoy or care about this game and want to do little things that aren't the white paper. It's not the patch notes stuff that, oh yeah, we've got this and this. They'll probably go flying under the radar for the most part. I don't know of any documentation that says, hey, check it out, we added logs to the abandoned mine shafts. Enjoy, Minecrafters. Um, but for people who play the game and have gone through as many abandoned mine shafts as I am, that's just a fun modification that does bring something back to the game. It just freshens it up just a little bit. And what does that take? Like, I no idea. I'm not a developer. I don't know what kind of investment or effort it takes to throw in a, hey, it when certain conditions apply when generating an abandoned mine shaft, add in raw log instead of fence post, whatever. But the variety of it is very, 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 very cool. I appreciate it. So thank you, developers. You guys are all right. Now, too many of those. Oh, we can put those away. Put those away. Too many of those. We got some room for those. That's working. I heard this little like ping, 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 ping. I thought it was rain falling for a second, but I don't think it's supposed to rain. I think we're good. We're gonna gather up the rest of this coal. We'll get back. We'll do a little mini inventory sort. And then we'll probably call it good. I don't even know. No idea how long we're going. I'm getting a pretty good instinct though. 106. Let's try to push on up to the surface at least. See if we can't see where we're at and how much is left to get us back to base. I mean, any of these abandoned mine shafts, they shouldn't take you too terribly far line of sight from wherever you started, but it doesn't mean we'll necessarily just see right where we are. Looks like some dirt. We're getting there. Dirt usually means we're not under an ocean. And it's daytime. Hey! There's our marker. Very cool. Alright, so we'll run back over. Head down to the portal and then just save it and exit there. Get this one uploading because we are now just about 2 hours from the last of the pre-records going live. I think the last one is at 3 p.m. Mountain Time, and it is now just a couple minutes to 1 p.m. Mountain Time. So you guys do the math, but to me that sounds like 2 hours. And that should be enough time for me to get this one uploaded and on. But I think we're going to want to do some sorting while we're here. Try to, start allocating out stuff that's just going back. All the way back to base, stuff that's going to stay here. Regroup the piles. One more little bonus for everybody that stuck through to the end. This is what I was talking about. The dripstones will fill cauldrons over a extended amount of time. However, I think if we really wanted this going, we need to put water above it or something, or that along those lines. I don't know. We'll figure it out. We'll do much more, but the good news is that was confirmed as a real thing. So, yay. All right. I don't want to do all this sorting stuff right now. No, I'm not going to get involved. We're going to save and quit. I will be back. Octagonal. Yay. I will be back shortly. I'm having a blast. And we'll get a few more episodes up here this Friday evening for you guys to all enjoy more or less real time, as real time as we get on YouTube content popping up. So enjoy this one. Leave me a like or comment. Share your favorite slow-cooked food ideas. If the Hambbage sounds right, give it a try sometime. If you do stuff differently, let me know what your favorites are. I'd love to hear about them. Anyway, take care. You guys stay awesome. Do, as always, take a break. If you're playing, if you're watching, get up, give your eyes and your brain a chance to not stare at a digital screen, and stretch your legs a little bit. Get your blood pumping and flowing around. Take care of yourselves, take care of one another, and most importantly, stay the awesome people that you are until we meet again. I'll be back soon. See you guys.